Okay. Now we are going to discuss about this technique. See what Suzanne discovered, right, is a fast, simple algorithm. We call it algorithm. You may have heard the word algorithm if you got introduced to computers, but it's a algorithm is nothing but a technique of very simple technique of doing it again and again, and you might do it 100 times, 1,000 times, million times, but ultimately you will get the answer. Okay, so that is what is a clear technique, and it is like a rules, following a certain rules in certain way, and keep doing it again and again and again, okay, till you get the solution. Okay, and you are always coming closer to the solution. That is what is called as a algorithm. So what Susan discovered here, rather than doing it taking different color pencils, right now for this symbol it was okay because there were only 13 paths, so maybe she had 13 sketch pen colors and she could have done it. Okay, but imagine a bigger problem where the answer is 156 or 211. Now you will not have even so many colored pens, you will not be able to distinguish also between so many colors, etc., right? But what she found a way which is a very simple way. Because why it is simple? Because the rules are very simple. You at every junction you have to see what is the previous two or three, whatever where the values at the previous junctions you need to know, and then you just do a sum. Summation is something that everybody does, right? Even fourth standard students will be able to do summation properly, right? Even large numbers. Can we I hope all of you have, let me go to the end and put it. Okay, I hope all of you know how to uh, add two numbers no matter how many digits they are. Like for example, obviously 34 and 56, right? Or something like this. You know how to, why it is not scrolling down, let me see, just one second.
So 90.
Yeah, I mean,
90.
yeah. So, but how to do it, you know, right? I mean, if I were to add 346 here, okay, then also you know how to do it, right? And it is not in mentally you do it. There is a technique that you all learned.
So 907.
Yeah, but how did you? Okay, I will keep adding. Okay, now to do this, what you will not be able to do this in your mind, right? What you will do, there is a technique that you have learned, right? You will start from the last two digits. First of all, you will align them by the last two digits. Then add the last two digits. Take whatever is the sum, you will put it, right? Right? So how you will put it here? I will put 7 here. This is what you have learned, right? And then if there is any carry, then I will carry it forward. Otherwise, it is not. So then 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay. Then 1 plus 2 is 3. Sorry. Again 3. Right? Here. And
Can you hear me?
then 6 plus 1 is 7. Right? And then you have put 6 plus 4, 10. Now 10 comes, it is more than 2 digits. So you put 0 and you carry forward 1, right? That's how you did it, right? Yeah, I think Sai Pranav, you know the techniques of doing it mentally. So you can do this. But otherwise, this is how you do it, right? If I give, suppose I were to give you a large number, not this. Okay. Now, how will you do this? Again, you will follow the same technique, right? Now you cannot do this easily mentally, right? Sai Pranav, can you do this mentally? Okay, you can do it. You can tell the answer. Yeah, it will take a few minutes, right? But even if you do it very simple way, then also it will take a few minutes, right? Because you are following an algorithm. What you are following, what you are taught is an algorithm, which consists of very simple step. What is the simple step? You know how to add two single digit numbers, right? It will go from 0 and 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, all the way up to 9 plus 9. Okay. Nothing can be bigger than that, right? As long as you know how to add that, you can add any two large numbers you can add, right? This is what you were taught in school. I hope this was taught in what, third standard, second standard, or fourth standard, I don't know, but it would have been taught like this, right? Can somebody tell me which standard this was taught? Carry forward and all of that. Second standard, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So second, third standard.
Yeah. But can you imagine how powerful this technique is? Because even if I add a few more numbers like this, and this is the number, this is like trillions of trillions something, even then you follow the...
So it will take almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, it might take 2 minutes, but even then it is a very big achievement. right? It's a very big achievement. Otherwise, how you will know this? This is like a very,
We will get a very big number.
yeah, correct. So but you apply a very simple technique, right? That is called as algorithm. Now similarly here, see this path, otherwise it might become, see now I'm giving you other options. Okay, these are the ones, this is your homework.
Sir, can you share this PDF on WhatsApp group?
Yeah, I'm going to share it, don't worry, I'm going to share it. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to share it. Okay, so this is your homework actually. Okay, 1 2 3 4 more problems to be solved. Okay, each one of them there is a very different path. Okay, this is a hexagonal path, this is a, say, rectangles, but they are all different shaped. Okay, every corner means there is a choice. You can go to the right, you can go to the left, you can go straight, etc. Right? And which is your destination? B is the destination, A is the starting point. Okay, now mentally can you solve this here in the rectangular paths? No, mentally you cannot solve it, right? It will take a lot of time. It is not easy at all, maybe, right? But with the formula that we have learned, you will be able to solve it because you know how to put numbers and you know how to put additions, right? So similarly, the number one, hexagonal paths, right? Here also so many ways that the paths, here the roads are not going rectangularly, they are going crooked ways, they are turning. Okay, but finally it is turning. Now, then problem number 3, triangular paths, and where is A? A is here. I'm just, yeah, in this position. A is here and B is here. So how to reach it there? Okay, again you will follow the same, this one. Yeah, how many ways that you can reach number B? That is the question here. Okay, the question is similar. I mean, you just assume that the Suzanne's home is at point A and Suzanne's school is at point B, and the same scenario. So you can see it here also. It is all parallelopipeds. Okay, parallelograms. So how many ways you can reach it? Okay, so like this. So you can follow the same technique. Okay, and reach it. Now there is one thing you have to remember. What I said is that you are always going to walk towards your destination, not away from the destination. Okay, what it means is from A, if you reach this point here, I will put a thing here. You will reach this point here. Okay, suppose you have reached it here. Now you will not go to the left. You will never take the left turn because you are going away from B. Okay, you are going away from B, and you are, so you will only take those turns or roads which are going towards B. Okay, now how do we know whether you are going towards B or you are going away from B? Sometimes it is obvious, sometimes it may not be so much obvious. So for example, if I've reached this point, now there is a right side I can go which is towards B, you can see it, but left side, does it go towards B or away from B? We are not so sure, right? So that is where this thing called as a perpendicular lines and parallel lines come into picture. Okay, let me very briefly explain this. Oh, this technique is called as actually graph theory. Okay, I mean one particular way. Okay, so the technical name for this is called as DAG. Okay, directed acyclic graph. It's a very advanced technique in computer. No, advanced means it is used in computer science a lot. Okay, you will see that even computer scientists will be using this. Okay, and why it is called as directed? Because there is a clear direction from one point to another. Okay, because if there is no direction, then you can go round and round and you will never finish. It can go into infinite loop. Okay, so that is why it is called as directed. Okay, acyclic. Okay, because you never retrace your paths. You don't go back and make one circle. Okay, and then you start continuing. That you will never do in this type of things. Okay, so you are always going towards your destination. You are not going back. Okay, that kind of a paths, and there is a starting point and then there is an ending point. So this is called as a directed acyclic graph, but it's a very technical term in mathematics, in graph theory. Okay, but it is very simple to understand. And how to draw it? Okay, at any given point of, say you draw a line first of all from your source to your destination, starting point to the ending point. Okay, So I've just drawn it, extended it, but this is the blue dashed line. Can you see it? Okay. Now you draw a line perpendicular to it. I hope everyone understands what is perpendicular. Means exactly 90 degrees to it. Okay. This is perpendicular line. Okay. Now what is not a perpendicular line? This is not a perpendicular line. Okay. This is not a perpendicular line because the angle is, it is a different angle. But if you make it like this, exactly 90 degrees, and so this is okay, still not, but maybe now it is a perpendicular line. Okay, I hope you get it. It is all, I think, in basics. This is like, this is not a perpendicular line because the angles are, two angles are different. One side the angle is more than 90 degree, one side it is less than 90 degree, but both, when it is exactly perpendicular, that time both sides will be going in the same, not even this, I think further, right? Approximately, I have just done it, but no, not, still not. Yeah, I think it is now 90 degrees. No, still not. Yeah, maybe it is now 90 degree. Okay. So you got this. I hope you got this. So now at any given point of time, you have to see there is a half which is towards B and there is a half which is away from B. Because I have put the line here at A point, I know everything to the right of this line, of this dashed line, is towards B, right? Because it is in the B's half and the other one is in the other half. Now, if I'm at this point, I will draw the similar line here, okay, which is here, and anything which is going to the right of this line is going towards B. Anything which is going to the left of this line is going to away from B. Okay, so this is how we will use the technique, and then we will put it. Okay, fine. So okay, let me put it. See, if you are at this point, okay, if you are at this point, now how do you know how, whether is this going to the left here, is it a valid option? It is not a valid option because you are crossing the line and going to the left of it. Now going to the left of it means you are going away from B. So you will never, from this point, you will never take the option to the left, but you will take the option to the right, you will take it. Okay. So every time you just check the line, perpendicular line, make it parallel. See this perpendicular line, it is always, you can always move it like this and it will always remain perpendicular to that. Okay. It will always remain perpendicular. Okay. Now you check, get the line to pass from your point. Okay. And then everything which is to the right of this towards B is what you can take. It is a valid option for you. Everything to the left of this line is not a valid option for you to continue. Okay. So if I were to do this, what I will do is I'm going to put my numbers like this. So I'm going to cross out the, for example, if I, is there a cross option? Okay, I will take this itself as a cross option. I'll put it here. Oh, yo. This path is a, oh, yo. Forget it. I don't want this. I want something else. I will put a simple square here. Okay. Now this particular path is not a valid path. So I put it in red because from this point, from the yellow circle where you are not going to take the red path because it is going away from it. Okay. But you are going to take a path which is going towards B. So from here, if I go and put a, this path is a valid path. It's blue. Okay, but the left side is a valid path. Now next, if you come here, then both the paths might be blue because both of them are to the right. Can you draw the line here? Can you see both the options are now to the right of it? So from this node now I will count. This is also a valid path. Sorry, this is also a valid path and this is also a valid path. Okay, but again I go here. So, oops. This is not a valid path because it is going away. Okay, blue I have put, which are all valid paths because they are may not be the shortest path, but they are going somewhere towards B, and it is a valid option for you. But anything which is red, you are going away from B. How do you find it? You are finding it by putting this perpendicular line to the, at every point you take it, you can imagine it. Once you get it, you will be able to do this imaginally. Okay, and wherever it is anything which is towards the half of B, you can count it as a valid option. Okay. This is slightly, it was this under, yeah, now it is perfectly perpendicular, I think. Okay, so like this you do it. Okay, you got it. Yeah, what is to the right of the, because it is the line, the baseline is A to B, and you draw a perpendicular line, anything to the right of that perpendicular line, because A is to the left and B is to the right, so anything to the right of the perpendicular line is a valid option for you. Anything to the left of the perpendicular point, from whichever point where you are, it is not a valid option. Did everyone get this? Using this you can solve this, all these four puzzles. Okay, all these four puzzles, and any puzzle of this type, it can be very complicated. It can have 100 triangles, 500 rectangles, whichever one. But you know, because everywhere it is simply, you just select the path which is going towards, and then you follow the technique. At every node you sum up the values of the previous node, and previous nodes is, it's a simple summation. Okay, so the exercise for you is to solve these things and find out what is the value from A to B in all the things. First is hexagonal. Second one is, I think, okay. No, you must not go back. Yes, you are right, Pranav. That is why all these things, perpendicular lines, everything we said, because you will not go back or you will not go away from the destination. Okay. You will not go away from the destination. And how do you find out, determine whether you are going away or not from the destination? Using this perpendicular line technique. Okay, so that is that actually. Okay, so this is a very powerful technique. Please learn it and understand it. And many problems, as you saw, see, these are very complicated problems, right? But you are able to solve them just by using summation and this simple algorithm. Yes, I'm going to share the recording also, as well as the PDF also. Okay, maybe by afternoon I will share it. Okay. All right. So that is that actually. That is what we are covering it for this week. Great. Please, and remember this thing technique, right? This is what is algorithm about. Okay, simple steps, but you will do it repeatedly to get to the answer, right? So this is how you do it. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop recording.